welcome to the Eclectic Collection. In today, episode 22, we're going to discuss lunch table rules. Ah yes, reminds me of high school, although it applies to life. This is kind of something I've always said. I'm sure there's other renditions of this in the world and people refer to it as different things. One might even call it loyalty. However, lunch table rule to me means that if a group of friends, and I just use the lunch table as an example because isn't that one of the most awkward things in high school? Having to scramble on day one of your schedule to find out what other normal people are in your lunch, only to freak out and find that there aren't that many normal people in your lunch. But no, I digress. If you're any pack of friends, whatever, I just use the lunch table as an example. So everybody's sitting together, they're friends, they know each other, they're comfortable with one another, and loyal to one another, eating with one another. So normal pack of friends. There are some instances that come up over time, and you definitely do not want to violate lunch table rules. So one common one would be in the dating realm. Let's say that person X starts dating person Y, and everything's peachy, life is good. First of all, everyone else at that lunch table is informed of this relationship and knows better than to interfere with it. So ideally, they support the couple, and obviously their loyalty should be to person X because they started dating person Y. However, if things go sideways, then not only is it obvious that no one else at that table could be interested in that person or seek out that person, because obviously they're already involved in a relationship. But if that relationship goes sideways, all the other people at the lunch table are henceforth and forevermore banned to ever seek out potentially dating person Y. It would just not be cool. If they were to even approach it, which I think is pretty shady, but if they were to even think about it or approach it, a certain period of delay has to occur, definitely in excess of 6 months, if not a year. And it really shouldn't be approached. I'd like to point that out again. But if they choose to, they absolutely need to seek the permission of the individual of person X to make sure that it is okay. And they need the express permission to even approach that person. And they definitely need to be aware of it. Although, again, I'd like to reiterate, bad idea bears. Like, no one should do that. So that's sort of the dating realm. The other factor is just good old-fashioned friendship loyalty. So all those people are presumably friends and tight. Therefore, if any outside force, could be work, could be a boss, could be another person that they're acquaintances with, could just be another company, faction, whatever. I mean, it's not Hunger Games here, but anything that is opposing or threatening of any type of group or specific person that's external to the group causes issues, grief, or problems for anyone at that lunch table. It's circle the wagon time, and they all band together to support that friend and help that friend. I have a great friend who always says, all right, who do we hate? Who do we hate, Tara? Who do we hate? And I'll usually give her a list because there's lots of people on that list, and it's unfortunate. But it happens. So they all, by proxy, dislike that person as well. So they're definitely going to support their friend no matter what, and it's just a test of loyalty. They're not going to let anybody buy them, hurt them, do anything to them. So it's just a nice banding of loyalty of friends. So nobody else could break that circle, if you will, and cause a problem. And they're going to be equally upset, distressed, not only for that friend, but against the outside, like I said, person, faction, company, whatever, competition. When it's unhealthy. Obviously, if it's in a healthy way or there's some sort of normal competition, sure, go have at it. But if it becomes negative in any way. The third way that sort of defines itself or tends to happen is in like a service, goods, or product way where name dropping can occur. So let's say that somebody at the table has a connection to something and someone else at the lunch table wants to utilize that good service, person, whatever. Then they would need, in proper lunch table rules, to get in touch with the person that actually knows them and has the connection And in the best case scenario, they just ask for help from the friend, and the friend would go provide the service and take care of it for them and have it so that that person they know, vendor or whomever, service person, contacts the friend. It is not cool, just like getting out of a chain of command at work. It is not cool if someone were to just go seek out that person's number and dial up the friend of a friend or the contact of the friend at the lunch table to get whatever by proxy while name dropping your friend and trying to get the same deals that your friend would get, especially without that friend's knowledge. So whoever is the contact needs to be the person that paves the way, ideally to set it up themselves, or at the very least, call the contact and say, hey, my buddy's going to get in touch with you. This is that person's name. Hook them up when you talk to them. Totally fine. But if somebody tries to buck that system and just go out of line, get the credit or get the deal or get the hookup that your friend has just by name dropping, especially without any, I'll say, pre-warning or any kind of preemptive note or phone call from the friend to the hookup, that's a huge problem because you're broadsiding that individual, and then your friend can look like a loser because they didn't say, hey, if your friend needed something, why didn't you tell me? Or why didn't you tell me you were sending me somebody that day? You never know if it was busy or whatever. So I see this a lot in the entertainment business, and I'm happy to help any friends. They just need to be smart enough to call me, because that's the rule. Call Terry Tenaglia. So I always joke with my friends and say that, but it's the truth, because you never know what's going on the vendor side, on the other side, on the service side. So these are just things that I've acquired and noticed over time, and observations I've made that I like to refer to as lunch table rule, because there's always something going on, some drama. Life just likes to throw you curveballs, and each of these three scenarios, in my opinion, are definitely something where you want to tell everybody what you need to tell them, have them on the same page, and if everybody's just loyal to one another, there's no issue. So abide by lunch table rules. If you liked what you heard, check us out at eclecticcollectionpodcast.com or follow us on your preferred platform. I'm Terry Tenaglia. Thanks for listening.